In the fourth chapter, we will see another type study, that is pigeon. Pigeon is also called as Columba livia. Birds belong to the class Aves, and the most distinguishing feature of birds is the possession of feathers. The study of birds is called ornithology. A bird is a feathered bipedal, that means having two pairs of limbs, forelimb and hind limb, flying vertebrate possessing wings. If you see the classification of Columba livia, that is pigeon, it belongs to the phylum Chordata, class Aves, order Columbiformes, genus Columba, and species Livia. Then we move on to the external features. The compact boat-shaped streamlined body of pigeon is well adapted for the aerial mode of life. The body of pigeon is divisible into head, neck, trunk and tail. We will see one by one. Head is comparatively small, spherical, situated at the anterior most part of the body. The beaks present anteriorly are formed by the elongation of upper and the lower jaw, and they are devoid of teeth. So birds-க்கு teeth irukadu. At the base of the beak are the external nostrils. Eyes are prominent, round and laterally present. Eyes are protected by an upper eyelid and lower eyelid and a transparent nictitating membrane. Posterior to the eyes are the ear openings which lead to the tympanic membrane. Neck is flexible, cylindrical and long, which connects the head and the trunk. The spindle-shaped trunk bears a pair of wings and a pair of legs. The cloacal aperture opens ventrally at the hind end of the trunk. Dorsally, the base of the tail has a knob-like papilla. Knobna ஒரு சின்ன உருளை போல ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் இருக்கும், which bears the opening of the preen gland. It is the only cutaneous gland. Cutaneous gland means that is present on the skin. Okay, it is the only cutaneous gland present, and its oily secretion is used for lubricating or preening the feathers. Sometimes you can able to see some birds sitting in the trees or somewhere, so cleaning their wings. அப்படியே பீக்கால வந்து என்ன பண்ணணும்னா wings அப்படியே clean பண்ணும் இல்லையா? So that is called as preening. The tail is used as a rudder in flight. The tail is used to show the direction to which it flies. Forelimbs are modified into wings. The wings have three typical regions: the upper arm, lower arm and the hand. The whole body weight of the bird is supported by the hind limb, while the bird is at rest or walking. The hind limbs are therefore attached anteriorly from the trunk to balance the body and support the weight of the body at rest. These birds are warm-blooded or homeothermic. What is warm-blooded? The animal which can able to change their body temperature according to the environment. Next we move on to the exoskeleton. Exo means outer. What is the covering of the bird? The exoskeleton of pigeon is derived from epidermis and occurs in the form of horny claws, scales and feathers. So the outer part of the body of pigeon has claws, scales and feathers. These beaks are used for ingestion, fighting and preening the feathers. Beaks மூலமா சாப்பிடும், fight பண்ணும், preen பண்ணும் feathers. Claws are used for walking and perching. The scales present on the foot and the entire body is covered by feathers. So the feathers are of three kinds. Large quill feather on the wings and tail, which is used for flight. Second one is the contour feathers, forms the covering of the body, and phyloplumes lie between the contour feathers. The nestlings are covered with down feathers, which resembles the phyloplumes. So it's a very important question. What are the three types of, what are the kinds of feathers? Quill feather, contour feather, phyloplumes and down feather. Next, we move on to the structure of quill feather. It's a very important 5-mark question or 3-mark it will be asked. You have to draw diagram also. The quill feather has a stem which is divided into lower hollow part called quill and an upper solid portion called rachis. So quill has a stem. ஸ்டெம்னுடைய கீழ்ப்பகுதி ஹாலோ காலியாக இருக்கும், அதுக்கு பேர் quill. அந்த மேலே இருக்கக்கூடிய சாலிட் பார்ட்டுக்கு பேர் rachis. The lower end of the stem has an opening called inferior umbilicus, which receives the nutrients and pigments from the growing feather through the dermal papillae. The second opening, அதுக்கு மேலே இன்னொரு opening இருக்கும், that is called a superior umbilicus, which occur at the junction of the quill and the rachis. Close to this opening, a small tuft of small feathers are found. These feathers are called as aftershaft. Attached to the rachis or small filament, rachis attach agirukkiradhu chinna chinna filament, that is called as barbs. The rachis with the barbs constitutes the vein. V-A-N-E. Each barb is fringed with an oblique set of process. அப்போ பார்புக்கு நடுவில் இருக்கிறது barbules, which have minute hooklets by which the adjacent barbs are hooked together to form a continuous blade for striking the air during the flight. So இது ஆக்சுவலாக பார்த்தோன்னா ஒரு தென்னை மரம், ஒரு பெரிய தென்னை மரத்தினுடைய கீத்து எடுக்கிறோன்னு வச்சுக்கோ, அதை வெட்டிட்டோன்னா அப்படியே ஃப்ரீயாக தனித்தனியாக இருக்கும். அது நடுவில் இருக்கிறது ஸ்டெம்முன்னு வச்சுக்கோ. அதில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த கிளை இது மாதிரி வரும் இல்லையா, குச்சி குச்சா, அதெல்லாம் வந்து பார்த்தோன்னா பார்ப்ஸ். அந்த பார்ப்ஸ் இப்போ நம்ம அந்த தென்னை கீத்தை பின்னாங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, பின்னும்போது என்ன ஆகும், இப்படி ஒரு கிராஸாக பின்னுவாங்க. அப்படி பின்னும்போது என்ன ஆகும், டைட் ஆகிடுது. அதே போல் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் தான் இங்கே இருக்கும். அப்போ பார்ப்ஸும் பார்பியூல்ஸும் ஒன்றோட ஒன்று பின்னும்பொழுது ஹூக்லெட்ஸ் அதை டைட்டாக ஹோல்ட் பண்ணிக்குது. அதுதான் அந்த வேனுக்கு, அந்த ராக்கிஸ்க்கு ஒரு ஸ்ட்ராங் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் கொடுக்குது, which is helpful for a flight. Next is the anatomy of pigeon. First we see the endoskeleton. The skeletal system is strong but lightly built. The bones are light and spongy. Many of the long bones contain air instead of marrow. So they are called as pneumatic bones. If you see the flight muscles of pigeon, wings are modified forelimbs and the organ of flight. The musculature of the forelimbs are greatly modified in response to the function they perform. Flight is the coordinated effort of a number of paired muscles. The muscles which operate the wings during the flight are called as flight muscles. The major flight muscles of pigeon are the pectoral muscles. Pectoral muscles are of two types, namely pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. Pectoral அப்படினாலே நம்மளோட ஷோல்டர், ஓகேவா? ஷோல்டரில் இருக்கக்கூடிய மசில்ஸ் that is called as pectoral muscles. The pectoralis major muscle is a large and a powerful flight muscle which arises from the sternum. Sternum, not chest bone. Contraction of these muscles lower the wings in flight. Pectoralis minor is a small elongated muscle which elevates the wing during the flight. அப்போ ஷோல்டரில் இருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த மசில்ஸ் மேஜர், அந்த கான்ட்ராக்ஷன் ஆஃப் பெக்டோரலிஸ் மேஜர் மசிலில் என்ன பண்ணும் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோன்னா விங்ஸை வந்து அப்படியே கீழே கொண்டு வரும். அப்போ விங்ஸை மேலே ஏற்றுறதுக்கு பெக்டோரலிஸ் மைனர். அப்போ விங்ஸ் பறக்கும்போது என்ன ஆகும், கீழேயும் மேலேயும் அசையுது. அப்போ கீழே வர்றதுக்கு பெக்டோரலிஸ் மேஜர், விங்ஸ் மேலே போகிறதுக்கு பெக்டோரலிஸ் மைனர். Besides the pectoralis, the small coracobrachiolis muscle also helps to pull the wings down and to rotate the wings during the flight. Okay, so this is a very important 3-mark question. Write note on the flight muscles of pigeon. So there are 3 types of muscles: pectoralis major, pectoralis minor and coracobrachiolis. Next, we move on to the digestive system. The long coiled alimentary canal consists of buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, crop, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. The mouth is covered by a toothless, horny upper and the lower beaks. Beside the mouth, there is a wide buccal cavity. In the floor of the buccal cavity, a large, narrow, horny tongue is present with a more number of sensory papillae and numerous mucous glands. The buccal cavity leads to pharynx, followed by the esophagus, which enlarges to form a thin-walled, bilobed elastic sac called crop. The crop serves as a food reservoir. Beyond the crop, the esophagus enters the stomach, which is differentiated into anterior glandular proventriculus and posterior muscular ventriculus. It is also called as gizzard. So stomach is of two types. Anterior part is called as proventriculus and the posterior part is the ventriculus. It is also called as gizzard. The walls of this gizzard is thick, muscular and has many tubular glands. The cavity of the gizzard contains a small pebbles called gastroliths. அப்ப அந்த gizzardல சின்ன சின்ன கல்லு போல இருக்குது. That was swallowed by the birds. These stones helps the bird in grinding the food. The gizzard leads to the small intestine, which consists of U-shaped duodenum and ileum. The pancreas lies between the two limbs of the duodenum and receives 3 ducts from the pancreas and 2 bile ducts from the liver. The inner lining of the ileum contains numerous villi, which is helpful in absorption of substances. The ileum continues into the large intestine, which is short and is differentiated into rectum and cloaca. A pair of blind pouches called rectal cecae are present at the junction of the ileum and rectum. The rectum leads to cloaca, which is divided into anterior coprodeacum, into which the rectum opens, the middle urodacum, into which the urinary genital tract opens, and the posterior proctodacum, which opens outside by cloacal aperture. So there are 3 parts in that: corpodacum, urodacum and proctodacum. Corporacum அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது rectum open ஆகுது. Urodacumனா urinogenital duct open ஆகுது. Whereas in proctodacum, the cloacal aperture opens. The buccal glands, salivary glands, gastric glands, liver, pancreas and intestinal glands are the digestive glands which enhance the process of digestion in pigeon. There is no gallbladder, pittapai. There is no gallbladder in the pigeon, though present in many other birds. The pigeon produces milk, a cheesy, nourishing secretion from both the sexes. That means the male and the female can produce the milk. It is formed by the degeneration of epithelial cells lining the crop. So inside the crop, it can secrete a nourishing cheesy secretion called milk. It is regurgitated and fed to the young ones. Regurgitated means it pushed back. Okay, from the crop it brings back and it is fed to the young ones. So the pigeon feeds on grains. Okay, so this is the digestive system of pigeon. Next is the respiratory system. In birds, the type of respiration is pulmonary. The respiratory system includes the respiratory tract, respiratory organs and air sacs are present. A true muscular diaphragm is absent in birds. Diaphragm irukadu. What is meant by diaphragm? Diaphragm என்றது ஒரு thick muscle which separates the thorax and the abdomen, which is present in mammals. So the respiratory tract includes the nares, the opening, external opening, nasal sac, glottis, larynx, trachea, syrinx, etc. And the respiratory organs are the lungs and the air sacs. The larynx opens into the trachea and it's supported by a series of closely set rings. The trachea divides into 2 bronchi, each of which divides and subdivides into small branches, ultimately ending in a fine air capillaries, which are lies intermingled with the capillaries of the pulmonary vessels. The lungs are solid spongy organs attached dorsally to the ribs. There are 9 air sacs, a pair of cervical found at the base of the neck, a single median interclavicular air sac connected with both lungs and situated in between the two limbs, and on the other side it gives off an extraclavicular air sac communicating with the air cavity of the humerus. Humerus is the bone of the hand, and a clavicular air sac. 2 pairs of thoracic air sac and a pair of abdominal air sacs. This complicated arrangement adds to the efficient respiratory organ and maintains high temperature. So, question will be asked like this: name the air sacs present in pigeon. So, it's a very important question. So, name the air sacs. How many air sacs are there? There are 9 air sacs, a pair of cervical air sacs, interclavicular air sac, extraclavicular air sac, clavicular air sacs, thoracic air sacs, and abdominal air sac. So, what is meant by syrinx? The larynx does not take part in the production of voice. Birds can make sounds. Okay, so this larynx does not take part in production of voice. The voice box lies deep down where the trachea divides into 2 bronchi. வாய்ஸ் பாக்ஸ் எங்கே இருக்கும்? ட்ரக்கியா, இந்த விண்ட் பைப் இருக்கு இல்லையா, அது டிவைட் ஆகும் 2 bronchi, அதுக்கிட்ட இருக்கும். தட் இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் syrinx. A structure is characterized by birds. It consists of a chamber with its wall supported by 3 or 4 rims of trachea, and the first ring of each bronchus is interlining and is raised into floats, the vibration of which is caused by the movement of air results in the production of a sound. The syrinx is nothing but the voice box of the birds which can produce the sound. Next is the nervous system and the receptor organs of pigeon. The nervous system consists of central nervous system, which includes the brain and spinal cord, the peripheral nervous system, and the autonomous nervous system. The brain of pigeon is larger than in lower forms. It is short, broad, and rounded within the cranial cavity. It is covered by 2 meninges. Meninges is nothing but the covering of the brain, the outer dura mater and the inner pia arachnoid membrane. And the space between the 2 meninges is filled with a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. The cerebral hemispheres of the pigeon are large and extend behind to meet the cerebellum. The cerebrum controls the voluntary movement and is the center for memory and intelligence. The diencephalon is covered dorsally by the cerebral hemispheres and cerebellum. The diencephalon relays impulses to the cerebral hemispheres, integrate the autonomic system and the perception of extreme cold, pain, heat, etc. On the ventral side of the diencephalon is the optic chiasma. Behind the optic chiasma projects the infundibulum bearing a large hypophysis. Hypophysis is nothing but pituitary gland. The optic lobes, optic na kannu, the optic lobes are large and occupy the lateral position owing to the large size of the cerebral hemispheres and cerebellum. Cerebral hemisphereum cerebellumum பெருசா இருக்கிறதுனால optic lobe எங்க இருக்குது? சைடில் வந்துடுது. ஓகேவா? The optic lobes are center for sight. The pineal body and the infundibulum are present. The cerebellum is highly developed and convoluted, indicating the sense of equilibrium. Equilibrium means it maintain a constant movement. And then the cerebellum extends backward, covering a large part of medulla oblongata, which descends downwards to join the spinal cord. The medulla oblongata controls the involuntary movements. The olfactory lobes are small and degenerate due to the poorly developed organs of smell. Olfactory lobe அப்படினாலே sense of smell. So birdsக்கு sense of smell இருக்காது. The peripheral nervous system consists of 12 pairs of cranial nerves and 38 pairs of spinal nerves. The autonomic nervous system of pigeon includes sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. If you see the sense organs, the eyes are large and well developed. They are not spherical but biconvex. The sclerotic coat contains bony plates. Sclerotic means the outer layer of the eye. There is a vascular pigmented palliated process called pectin. So it is a very important question. What is pectin? So there is a vascular pigmented palliated process called pectin projecting to the vitreous body from the point where the optic nerves enters the eye. So you can see in this picture. So what is meant by pectin? அப்போ ஆப்டிக் நர்வ்ஸ் என்டர் ஆகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி த இன்னர் லேயர் ஆஃப் அந்த விட்ரஸ் சாம்பர்னா என்னன்னு உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். நடுவில் லென்ஸ் இருக்கும், லென்ஸுக்கு முன்னாடி பக்கம் ஆக்வஸ் சாம்பர், லென்ஸுக்கு பின்னாடி இருக்கக்கூடிய பகுதி விட்டரஸ் சாம்பர். ஸோ திஸ் விட்டரஸ் சாம்பர் ஹேஸ் அ ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் கால் பெக்டன் விச் இஸ் present at the entry of the optic nerves. So pectin is concerned with power of accommodation which is greatly developed in birds. The muscles for the movement of eyeballs are reduced. In the ear, the cochlea is well developed. The olfactory sense is poorly developed. So eyes la pectin irukku, and then cochlea well developed இருக்கும். Ear la sense of hearing, and then olfactory sense organs are poorly developed. Next is the urinogenital system. Urinogenital system means நேம்ல இருந்தே பாரு, urinogenital system. urino என்னும்போது excretory, genital அப்படின்னும்போது reproductive. So these excretory and reproductive system combine together to form the urinogenital system. So excretory system, the paired kidneys or metanephric or flat elongated structure. The ureters lead directly backward to open into urodecum or the middle compartment of the cloaca. Already we have seen the three compartments of cloaca: protodecum, urodecum and coprodecum. So these are the three parts of this cloaca. This ureters opens into the urodecum. So there is no urinary bladder. Urinary bladder kadiyad. The nitrogenous waste is excreted in the form of uric acid and discharged as a semi-solid mass. So the adrenal bodies lie attached to the ventral surface of the kidney as a small yellowish elongated streaks. That's a very easy. Next one is the reproductive system. A pair of ovate testes are attached to the anterior end of the kidneys by peritoneum. From each testis leads a vas deferens which runs backward along the outer side of the ureter of that side and opens on a small papillae into the urodecum. The vas deferens is dilated into a seminal vesicle at its hind end. There is no copulatory organ. So organ for copulation is absent. The female reproductive organ consists of a single ovary on the left side which is an adaptation to aerial life. ரெண்டு ஓவரி கிடையாது, ஒரே ஒரு ஓவரி தான், அதுவும் லெஃப்ட் சைடில் தான் இருக்கும். So இது ஒரு important character in birds. So single ovary on the left side only present which is helpful for adaptation to aerial life, and an oviduct which opens into the body cavity by a funnel-like aperture at the anterior end and posteriorly opens into the urodecum. So that's all about the reproductive system of pigeon. So we have seen the various systems of pigeon. Go through that. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask me. Thank you.